Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Gemma Bear and welcome to my channel's second ever public video. As you may have already figured out from the title, this video is going to be the first in our resume series. As such, I'm going to be giving some basic resume guidelines and discussing specific tips and tricks for areas including general resume formatting, sections you should definitely include on your resume, and how best to make your resume stand out from other candidates. To start out, what is the real purpose of a resume anyways? I've always thought of it as something like a wingman that's trying to get me through the door for an interview. A resume is thus a reflection of your experiences and your skills that qualify you for the particular position in question. It's a tool used by candidates like us in order to sell ourselves to recruiters and companies. With those facts in mind, here are some general resume tips that you should keep in mind before I get into some examples. To keep it simple, I'm going to break this video down into 5 basic recommendations. Number 1 is to create a resume that is totally free of any grammatical errors or incorrect information. A grammatical error or flat out inaccurate information is an immediate turnoff for anyone viewing your resume, especially for recruiters who are only spending a few seconds on each of potentially 100 resumes. While this tip seems extremely obvious, triple check that your resume is totally free of any of the aforementioned errors. One of the great ways to do this is to let a trusted family member, friend, or colleague look over your resume before you start sending it out in applications. Tip number 2 is to choose and use your resume section headings with purpose. The single most important heading is experience, so you'll definitely want to include that one. This is the section where you'll discuss recent work experience and your specific responsibilities in those roles. Another important heading is education, which is the section where you detail your academics, including your college and university, your field of study, also called major, your graduation date, and your current GPA. Another section heading is activities. The activities section gives students an opportunity to show how they stay involved. It often includes extracurricular activities such as clubs, leadership development opportunities, or other relevant activities. One other section is called awards and/or honors. This is the section that showcases your academic accomplishments, including recognitions such as making the dean's list or earning a particular scholarship. Other popular section headings include academic projects, interests, and core competencies, also called skills. I have listed them here in what I roughly consider most important, but it is up to you to select headings that are most relevant to you and the position that you're applying for. Tip number 3 is to keep all parts of your resume as concise as possible. As I mentioned earlier, most recruiters only spend a few seconds looking at each resume. Because of this, you want to make sure that you keep the body of your resume short and easy to digest so that all experiences and skills come across quickly and effectively for anyone who's looking over your resume. To best showcase your experience, always start with an action verb. I've prepared an example here demonstrating exactly what I'm talking about. The original experience description is somewhat wordy. To improve it, I removed the repetitive information and substituted in some action verbs that highlight specific responsibilities without using any unnecessary language. I have also provided a small chart with a few action verb examples. You can find many similar lists online, so when choosing one, make sure that the action verb correctly represents your personal responsibilities and any relevant outcomes.
Tip number 4 is to always quantify wherever possible. The human eye is naturally drawn to numbers on a resume, so by measuring experience and other sections in actual numbers, you will stand out from other applicants. Similar to the previous tip, I have 2 examples here to show exactly what I mean. In both cases, you can see that the original description is already pretty good. However, to stand out even more, the quantified versions contain specific numbers that better demonstrate the candidate's responsibilities. Looking at both the before and after for these 2 examples, it is clear that the quantified versions are better while they still keep things concise. And when it comes to quantifying, if you do not remember exact amounts, it is always best to provide your best estimation while remembering tip number 1 to not add any straight up incorrect values.
And finally, tip number 5 is to always keep your resume up to date. After all, resumes should be living documents that are constantly updated with your most recent experiences. Additionally, resumes should be adjusted slightly depending on their use in order to best fit a specific job or other opportunity. With tip number 5, this concludes the basic resume guidelines video. Thank you all so much for your time. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any feedback or would like to see me address something specific, please leave a comment and I'll get to it. With that, I'll see you guys next time, and cheers.